Hey, welcome back to spring 2026. Can you believe that number? I can't. It was a busy flex week. It was a really great flex week. I enjoyed it. I was there for several days and it ended perfectly. It ended with Jose Antonio Vargas speaking and giving just, I don't have the words for what his speech was. It was really powerful. And as I say that, that's underselling it, but then, followed by that, and that's what this video is about. Followed by that was a faculty only meeting with our union colleagues, the heads of the associate faculty union, the full-time faculty union, and then our Senate leadership. So Curry Mitchell is the president, and then Jim Sullivan as vice president slash president-elect. And their goal in that 1 hour session was to hold a town hall where, faculty came and talked about whatever it was they really wanted to talk about in terms of leadership at the college and specifically faculty leadership at the college. And what are some of the challenges with faculty leadership? What might prevent people from going into faculty leadership? What are some of the benefits? And it was really well attended. If you were not able to go, that's okay. My goal here is to just give you a brief overview and encouragement for action. So it was a hybrid event or a high flex event, I'm sorry, where in total between the room and in Zoom, there were about 85 participants, which on an all college day, Friday afternoon, when you could go home kind of event, I mean, that was huge. That was really huge. It was a great turnout. And there was no set agenda. So a lot of the things that bubbled to the top in terms of the discussion were the challenges that come with leadership. And that is leading, for example, as a department chair and stepping into that role. Department chairs, current and previous, mentioned that in their departments, oftentimes they end up being department chair for several terms because nobody else wants to step into that role. And that there doesn't seem to be a real desire by anyone to serve in that role. It is a lot of work. I say this as one of those chairs that, there isn't anyone really to step into the role either. I have served in it for multiple years. I enjoy it. I actually do enjoy chairing this area. But it's not without its challenges, right? And I don't say I did want to take a break and step down, there is not someone that I know would want to take that task. And that is the same in basically every department on campus. It's a hot potato. There was also a lot of talk about leadership in terms of serving on different committees and whether that's actually serving as a member or stepping into a leadership position on the committee. Both were discussed. Um, there was a pretty wide consensus that, these things can be very time consuming. And at the end of the day, many folks expressed this desire to not want to take away from their teaching, not want to take away from their students and that is their primary goal and role at the college. That is their job, is to be a teacher. And I heard a couple of people agree with that and then also disagree with that and say, yes, that is our primary goal, but also, were it not for faculty leadership and people stepping into those leadership roles, we would not have some of the same types of agendas put forward, priorities prioritized, and so on, because you need strong faculty voices in the different governance areas. And because curriculum, as one example, is run by faculty, you need faculty on the committee. You need faculty on an equivalency committee that determines who your future colleagues will be, and so on. That's just two examples. And so I personally wish the session had been more than 1 hour because so many people showed up. And at the same time, I know that you can't know how many people are going to show up or that you would need more than that. So I think it was very encouraging to have such a high participation level. But I also hope that anyone who attended and anyone who didn't attend and is listening to me now steps away and really does continue to think about their own role at the college and the value that stepping into leadership may have, even if it's in the short term. So we all know that there are dynamics as humans that we have when it comes to group work. So I'm going to use the students as an example, right? When we say there is a group assignment in a class, we know that there's the students who strongly participate and will always get the good grade on it. And then there's the students who tend to do less. I'm just going to say it. We know that that is also true of us as working professionals. We know this. We know that there are people in our departments that we can look at and go, well, so and so loves to lead. So and so loves to do that kind of thing. Maybe so and so doesn't necessarily love to do that type of thing, but they do see the value in it. Just because they may not love it doesn't mean that there isn't a need, and they may step into that need. I'm going to quote our wonderful colleague, Luke Lara. Dr. Lara was saying that, in his department, he was often leaned on as a leader, and he's not a natural leader. It's not a comfortable thing for him. However, he has repeatedly stepped into those roles because the need was there. And I really appreciated that because I think that you can be relatively uncomfortable with having to step into a lead and just assume somebody else will do it because they like it or they're better at it. And at the end of the day, that doesn't make you or me, if I do that, any different than the student who doesn't participate in the group project. Um, is that an A student who's always going to get the A and will they probably like working on the project and they'll get it done faster? That's a whole lot of assumptions to excuse a lack of participation on someone else's part. And so, why is all of this really important right now? Because if you look back at Curry's email that went out in December and then again during Flex Week, you'll see him talking about the fact that we are entering a season of substantial change. We aren't just having, a couple new administrators come on like we have seen in the past. We are talking about really seismic change that only happens on this level every once in a while. It occasionally happens where you've got several people all at one time in different roles, terming out, retiring, moving on to different positions, and so on. And that's where we are this spring, right now, spring of 2026. So we have obviously from the top down some really big roles that are going to be having new human beings in them as of summer and fall. Not the least of which is the college president. We're looking for a new college president. Sonny Cook will not be here. So without Dr. Cook here, they're looking for a new one. We're going to have completely new college leadership. And we don't know what that new person's take will be on anything yet. We don't know what their background will be. We don't know anything. We will also have a new Senate president. We will have, excuse me, a new faculty assembly president. We just got a new dean, some deans shifted. There are a lot of committees whose chairs will be terming out. Our PDP coordinator will be terming out. We'll need a new PDP coordinator. So there are going to be multiple positions available for faculty to step in and step up. And I am going to emphasize that we want our students in group work to pull their weight. We want them to step in. We want them to contribute in a way that not just takes the burden off of the others in their group, but so that they too learn something. And that's what I'm asking of all of you. If you have been leading, if you have been serving, you know who you are, and we all know who you are because you're the ones who consistently show up to the table. And I thank you for that because we need that. And if you are someone who has not yet been stepping up to the table, please do. You might think your voice isn't important, or you don't have much to share, or you're assuming that the dynamic in a certain committee is X, Y, and Z. Please ask, please do some homework, please find your place. If you hate it, it was 2 years and you tried it, but you stepped in and you contributed, and you will learn something, and you will be of value, not just to your colleagues, but you're helping to shape the values of the college and hold up values of the college. So I really hope from one faculty leader to future faculty leaders, you will take this spring and look around and see what might excite you and what you think you might want to learn and bring your voice to. Ask questions. Ask questions of the people currently on the committee. Ask questions of the current chairs. Ask questions of the current leadership. If you're really, really curious about serving in a certain area, ask those questions and then step up and do that. I think that this is a really awesome semester to bring some new blood into faculty leadership. We've had some phenomenal people who have been serving, but some folks are really tired and they do deserve a break, and we need new voices whenever we can have them. And your voice is valuable. So I will get off of my soapbox. I hope that you will not only pay attention to the great committee call that will come out, but I hope as well you will attend some committee meetings and just kind of start perking your ears and getting really more aware of what's happening this semester because we're about to enter some real change together. And I'm really looking forward to working with you as a future faculty leader.